Your people are your greatest asset. Discover how storytelling for your team can unlock confidence, connection, and creativity.
Welcome to Rise to Lead, where unique perspectives redefine leadership.
You also work on storytelling for children, right? So what is one thing parents or educators can do to help kids develop a healthy relationship with their own story? Because we all develop those stories in our minds, and they come about very early in life. So what's one way that you can share that can help parents or any types of educators?
Okay, well, I can give a couple of examples. I mean, for me
Okay.
personally, with my kids, it was kind of the bedtime storytelling. So,
Yeah, I remember that from last time. We talked about it a little bit.
so that creates that inseparable bond. It leverages on the imagination and creativity of the kids. It's effectively, it's their story. You're just the guide. You're just narrating the story for them, or with their help, and that is fantastic. But what I also did, I worked with an international school, and it was a kind of a boarding school, so kids were there for long term, and all from different countries around the world. And they were there basically 6 months or 3 to 6 month terms, and then they go back and see their parents for a few weeks and then go back. So yeah, there was lots of challenges, emotional challenges, and the school wanted to identify any problems, potentially problems with the children. So I thought storytelling is a great way to help with that. So yeah, I was invited in to give 5 different sessions for the day with different kids between the age of 11 and 14, and with their teacher as well. And it was mixed class of kids from all over. The thing is that what they had to, because it's an international school, was speak English. So English wasn't necessarily their first language either. So then I thought, well, let's have some fun. Let's make this enjoyable. I don't know the kids, right? And they don't know me. And what am I doing there? And can it be something fun that you can leverage on and use for future programs? So I asked them, so in the class, there was 20 or so kids per session. So they were all, I asked them we arranged the seating in a circle. So I sat within the circle as well. So I have children either side of me. And I said, they knew it was going to be storytelling, but they didn't know anything about it. So I wanted to leverage on some of the skills I had as well, like NLP, and use open questions and closed questions. So open questions, I could start off by asking them, besides all the greetings and formalities at the beginning, right? I still needed to get to know them. And the only way I would is when they start to talk, right? So, and for everybody to listen. So we sat in a circle, and I asked a kid beside me, to one side, would you mind starting the story? And then the other kid beside me, would you mind finishing the story? And they agreed. And I didn't set any rules at the beginning. I just wanted to see how things went. And then after that, then we set rules. So it was a way for them to open up and, yeah, just to show what they're like. So you get the extroverts, you get the introverts, you get the very egotistical people, you get the very shy, you get the supportive ones, you get the ones that just want to say something quick and move on, and all sorts. But that only comes out because we made it fun. We said storytelling. So we said that it's your story. So there's going to be no rules at this. We're just going to start. So the person beside me start the story. So I said something like once upon a time, or however you want to start, because there's different ways you can start a story. And there's obviously different ways you can end a story. But let's just see how it goes. So they started once upon a time, blah blah blah, and then I said, there's no time limit. You can talk as long or as short as you want, right? So then as it went round, everyone passed over to the next one. Some were eager that they passed on because they wanted to talk. They were like really on the edge of the seat wanting to talk. And then there was the other kids that like, I don't really want to say anything. And you could see that the support they were getting from the other kids. Oh, come on, it's easy. You can just say that. And I must admit that first time round, yeah, two or three kids didn't say anything, right? They didn't feel they wanted to participate. And then by the end of that first round, we identified like who likes to talk, who's a bit shy, who's supportive, and all that. That all came out from the first round, which was excellent. But then we set rules and we said, right, everything's got to be positive because a lot of negativity came out. And like scary negative, some things came out, which was also good because it identified kids that potentially have like some emotional traumas. But nevertheless, that all came out. And then in the next round, we set rules. So we said that everybody's got to think of a word, a positive word. It could be anything. Could be an object, a place, a color, an animal, whatever. Write it down on a piece of paper, fold that paper up, and put it in the hat in the middle. And everyone's got to take a word out, and then basically we go round, and you have to introduce that word into the story that's being told. Right, the story's got to be positive. It's got to end positive. Right, it's got to have your word in it, and you can have as long as short as you want, but everybody's got to participate. And then we found that like next time round everybody participate, even the kind of the three kids that didn't want to do anything. And as it went on, I mean, these were like 2 hour sessions with each group. I mean, they absolutely loved it in the end. And then we talked about kind of the fundamentals of storytelling. There's three components. There's a start, there's a middle, there's an end. We're all storytellers. I asked them at the beginning, like, who's a storyteller? Like, put your hand up. Like, as I said, if you put your hand up, they follow suit. They'll put their hand up. So kind of that body language as well. So yeah, I found out most of them said they weren't storytellers until I told them that they were, because as soon as a new kid joins the school, then everybody's there rushing around asking, well, where's the kid from? And tell me like about you, your country, your parents, have you got family, what you're doing here, blah, blah, blah. So, and then the kid is sharing the story. And then he
Right.
likewise, they're asking the others, well, tell me about you as well. So we're all storytellers. It's just that once you learn the art of it, it just makes storytelling a lot easier.
Right. And isn't it amazing how quickly it shifts when we use storytelling? I mean, I've seen it with adults too. That I've also been, for example, at a workshop that I was teaching, a 4-day workshop in Qatar once, and there was a lady who was very shy. And on the fourth day, she volunteered to come to the front of the room just because I used a few of similar tools that help people, whether they are kids or adults, to warm up and to come out of their shell, and that really helps them going forward, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Maybe I could just add to that. So
Yeah, yeah,
I went to a program for entrepreneurs, and I think I told you that my mentor at the time was a guy called Kevin Harrington, who
yeah.
was the original shark of the TV series, The Shark Tank. So anyway, he was doing a session similar to this, right? And he wanted 5 people to pitch an idea to him so he could evaluate the pitch, right? I mean, did it have substance? Was it of any value? Did it have him excited that he wanted to invest in this business venture or whatever? So he had kind of set out the agenda and the key things that you should focus on. And then he wanted 5 volunteers, right? So I put my hand up and I volunteered. And oh no, he didn't do that. he actually, everybody had to put their name in a hat, right? So there's like 30 people in there. And he wanted them, it was just a private session in a bigger event, right? So he wanted only 5 people to pitch to him for the time limitation, but everybody, or most people, wanted to pitch. So he said, everybody that wants to pitch, put their name on a piece of paper, put it in the hat, and we'll pull out the hat in order. So I just knew I was going to be the fifth one, right? I, I that's kind of something else. If you,
Yeah, sometimes you
it,
just know.
yeah, if you already kind of predict the outcome that, and you believe it so much that you're halfway there, right?
Yeah.
Which we could have a whole conversation on something
Yes,
completely
absolutely.
separate, because that is something magical. So I
Hmm.
already believed within me, I'm going to be the fifth one and I'm going to pitch. And not just that, I'm going to be the best, right? Right. And I believed that. So I was already, in my mind, I was already there. I just needed to be picked. And the first one came out and it wasn't me. Second one came out, it wasn't me. And the third one, fourth. And then the fifth one, like James Moffat, I thought, shit, it is me. Right. Right. So I was kind of nervous because I thought, what am I going to pitch? But anyway, I won't go into that story, but it's a great story. But I did pitch, and he said he nearly blew him away, nearly fell off his chair. He said it was so good that I was the first one that he's ever done a video testimonial for. And you can actually look. I think it's on my YouTube channel. I've put it there just as a placeholder. So it
That's
is
cool.
there, and it is by him. And it was for having at the time the best pitch. And then he then used that later to go forward, saying that others that pitch, the prize would be a video testimonial, right? But I'd never done it before until
Wow.
then. So it's kind of a turning point. But yeah, that's also kind of rewards you can offer people. It doesn't have to be a monetary reward. It could be something that brings value to them as well.
Hmm.
Imagine you're being mentored or something, and someone gives you a video testimonial of how good you were, or something that is going to make you feel really great. I'm empowered now. I'm inspired by this person. They've empowered me, and I feel great. I'm feeling very positive, and I want to share this with the world. And
Right.
this is exactly how it should feel, just going back to kind of the business within the workplace, that every day you're waking up wanting to get out of bed because you love the job, you love the environment, you love what it stands for, and how people interact with each other.
Great. Absolutely. Well, this has been marvelous, James. Thank you so much.
That,
What's
shall
the
I?
best? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Did I tell you the story behind Marvelous?
No, I don't think so. Tell
All
us.
right. Okay. I used to live and work in the UK, and before I left London, which I was in London for many years, I thought, well, London, the streets aren't paved in gold, and I've made it there. What can I do next? So I looked to move abroad. So I went to had an opportunity to go to the Netherlands. So my first venture was to Utrecht, right, which I loved actually, and then went to Amsterdam after that, and so on. But I worked for an international telecom software company, and at the time it was a Dutch company, although it's since moved on. But anyway, it was an international team, and yeah, it was great. There was 800 people in the building, and people would always ask like, "How are you?" I would say marvelous, right? And then they wanted to know why. And I said, well, you can say marvelous in different ways. You can say marvelous sarcastically, like you're not really good at all. Marvelous, right? You could say marvelous, like, yeah, really enthusiastic and great. I just think it was a wonderful word to use. a marvelous word to use, right? So anyway, because I always said it, then everybody started saying it as well. So every time I met them, and you would say, "Who's it?" Well, in Dutch, I probably said that wrong. And they would say, "Marvelous," right? And jokingly say it back. So everybody in the company started saying "marvelous," and it was great because it really helped bring people together. And also, just saying one word made a difference in the way that you greeted someone. And yeah, it was something that maybe I won't be remembered for all the sales I did, but I'll be remembered for a word I said.
So you're now Mr. Marvelous.
Mr. Marvelous. Yeah, I never
Okay,
thought about
that's
that. Yeah.
great. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
That actually could be a bedtime story for the kids, Mr. Marvelous.
Exactly. Here you got it.
Yeah.
Here you got it. Okay, so James, you know that we're going to put all the links up, but what's the very best, the one best place for people to find out more about you and your work?
Right. Probably, well, my LinkedIn will have it there. And then within the contact information, there'll
Mhm.
be other links to various different websites and places. So
Right.
that's probably the best one because you can link away from that.
Okay, great. And all the other links will be in the description that you gave me anyway. So thank you again, James, for coming on again and enlightening us around storytelling a little bit more today. To all listeners, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Tune in again next time.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Are you ready to create real change in your leadership, your career, your life? Join me for a complimentary Lead and Thrive session, a 60-minute one-on-one strategy session where we will discuss your specific needs and map out the next steps to lead yourself and others powerfully. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Visit transformyourperformance.com/Lead Thrive session to book your Lead and Thrive session today. Let's work together to make it happen. If you enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe, share it, and join us next time.